teach you very well. But who knows? Who knows? Right? But if I use this time to do my research, I can count how many papers I publish per year. And then you know that if I have more paper, I can secure my position. I can have a more higher reputation, which means I can earn more money in the future. So if you were me, how would you spend your time? So this is the idea that even though you get the money from means of education, because they don't have the good way to measure your performance, so those faculty, they will just get your money but do their own thing to chase their own interest. This is the agency series about. Okay, so I spent a lot of time to talk to you this story. Okay, but the next story is Ministry of Education. They are not stupid. They know you are liar to us. You are abused your money. So they will come up a lot of methods to monitor your progress. How they do this? First, university evaluation. So for some of you already working in a school, you know evaluation. Why they want to send somebody come to your school to do the evaluation? Because they want to know your performance. But you also know those evaluation is just a joke. You prepare a lot of documents, but no one really read. If they read, they must be stupid, because some of the document you just make up, and no one check the number. Right? So this is evaluation. What is the second thing? Second thing, they would do the national reporting system. So as some of you mentioned, they would report the average salary of alumni. But this is the problem. Saying that if you are the faculty in the university, which in the bottom, right? Your students are come from those family are poor family. They have a lower capacity from the lower status of family. How can you expect their salary would be higher than those students graduate from the National Taiwan University? How can you expect? Right? So regardless how you working hard, educating, spend the time with your students, their salary will be always lower than those students from the National Taiwan University. So it is unfair for those faculty who teaching in the lower quality of university, but they are still doing the education. Okay, so salary is not a good measurement, but it's provide the idea. What is the idea? Social mobility. Let me show you social mobility. Let me, so you guys are following me, right? So, can you understand me?
对。
Okay, so, can you see this slide?
Okay.
See this one? In fact, the United States government, they already come out a new method to evaluate the performance of university. Based on what? Based on social mobility. What is the idea of the social mobility? Is saying that if you are a senior high school student, teacher, you understand this way. So we have the Taipei First Girls Senior High School, okay? And we also have a very bottom senior high school. Those students can enter to the Taipei First Girls Senior High School. Their GPA already very high, right? So after 3 years, they go to the college entrance examination. So they have the improvement, okay? But since they already have a very good capacity, so their improvement should be very small, okay? So this gap is the contribution of this senior high school teacher can give to those students. But you have another school, their teacher, their student, their GPA is very low. After this 3-year education, if their college entrance examination can improve a lot. So this gap should be the contribution of the teacher. Tell me which teacher should be awarded. Is the teacher in the Taipei First Girls Senior High School or the teacher in those lower senior high school? I think the answer is very easy, right? The second, because they contribute to the student more. So this is the same idea, the social mobility, saying that we have 3 kind of the university. First, National Taiwan University. As I present in my class, National Taiwan University. Right. Patrick, you are totally right. You read me out, right? Yeah, kind of, right? So the first is National Taiwan University. All of their students are come from the rich family. If they graduate, they also rich. This is National Taiwan University, they do nothing for their student. But if their student, they go to poor, then I would be surprising, right? The second university, their student come from very low income family, but after the 4-year college education, they become rich. So this university, they must provide a quality education. Which kind of you may ask me, can I give you a name that which university are doing this? I can tell you, Taipei Tech is doing this. Taipei Tech is this kind of university can provide. So you can see this way. Who would go to the Taipei Tech? Poor family or rich family? Maybe the poor family, because vocational track, right? We all know the people they go to a vocational track, their family income would be much lower than those general track, right? But the Taipei Tech, we provide engineering education, right? So if they come to Taipei Tech and get the certificate, become engineering, how much they will earn per month? So this is kind of a social mobility, right? We also have a kind of the university. They will come to a low-income family, and after the 4-year college education, they still stay in the low income. Can you give me a name? Which university is doing this? My question, they come from a low-income family, right? After graduation, their salary is still low. Can you imagine that which university is this type of university in Taiwan, as you know? Hard to say. Yeah, it's difficult to say. I can tell you, I can give you a list. Like a Nanlong Technology University or Tainan University. Those university in your mind is a low quality. What is low quality? Low quality mean not the registration rate, it mean the education they provide is low quality. So even though you come to the university, you learn nothing. You just pay the tuition and get a loan, but you learn nothing to make yourself as a competitor in the labor market. So this kind of education should be punishment. So can we get this data to measure the performance of each university? Yes, we can do this. How can we do this? Yeah, fool around for 4 years. Definitely, a lot of universities, they happen this, right? So if we can measure the performance of a university contribute to the social mobility, we can have a better measurement to understand which university is much better than another. So for those universities, they have a better performance. They should get the more grant from the Ministry of Education. So this is the first argument. We are not just based on the KPI, how many English courses you open. That's make no sense. Because if you just count how many English courses you take, so how can you compare National Taiwan University and Tainan University? if China University, they open all of their courses in English, they can do this. But no one understands what they are listening. It makes no sense, right? So you understand my point, right? So higher education is so complicated. So one KPI cannot solve the problem. But the social mobility, this kind of value-added approach can solve the problem. This is what happened in America. So I will quickly to show you. This is what they already calculate. Let me. Here, can you see this slide? The social mobility. So in here, the blue one is the Columbia University. Do you know how? Do you know Columbia University? What kind of university it is?
Top
in New York.
Right. It's in New York and super expensive, right?
Yeah.
And another, this one is SUNY. SUNY is state of University of New York. So it's New York State University. Stony Brook. Do you know which kind of university it is? I can tell you, it is a public research university, and it is very famous in engineering. Okay, and this one is SUNY. Okay, SUNY. Okay, they all in New York. Okay, this is the parent income quantile. 5 mean richer, 1 mean poor. Okay, so let's start from the Columbia. You will see Columbia. They have 60% of students, their parents' income is from the top. So as we say, you must be rich to pay the tuition. And for the SUNY, they only have the 50% of parents are rich. Okay? And let's see the poor. Columbia University, they only have like a 5% or 4%. Their parents are poor, and the SUNY, they have about 18% parents are poor. So you can see the different distribution of their income, right? So let's continue. So we already know their composition of students come to our university. The Columbia University, they have much more students are rich, and the SUNY have less. And the SUNY has much more students, they are poor, and the Columbia no. And this is success rate. What is success rate? It's after their graduation, they move to the top 5%. Top 5%. From the bottom 1 to top to the top move from here to here. Move from the top, move from bottom 20% to the top 20%. Do you know anyone who have been rich to this kind of social mobility in Taiwan history? Do you know anyone? They move from the bottom 20% to the top 20%. Do you know anyone?
郭台铭啊。
Yeah, he is. I can give you second example. Chen Shui-bian also. Right? The President Chen, he was born in a poor family, the farmer, right? But he became the president. He graduated from National Taiwan University. So in this sense, National Taiwan University make a great contribution to his social mobility. So this is the idea. This is the SUNY, okay? So you can see for this percentage of students, 80% students come from poor family. And for those students, they have how many? They have 50% become a social mobility. They move to the top 20%. So they use this amount plus this amount, and they get the they get the score to show the contribution. They have table. Here. Okay, not here. Anyway, so they can get the tech. So you know is this matrix determined by how many percentage of the poor family student you come in and move them to the top. So United States government, they calculate this number for each university and then make a ranking. Can you tell me which kind of university their performance would be best? Now you have three choices. First, research university, they would have a best contribution to the student in terms of social mobility. Second, teaching university. Third, community college. Which one? 建筑 vote research university. What else? How do you think? First, research university. Second, teaching university. Third, community college. Which one? JJ vote research university. Sam, what do you guess? Okay, Steve also vote research university. The answer is three of them, all possible. Research university would rank in top, but the teaching university would also rank in top. Community college also, because you will see the idea is so. In fact, the research university, if all your students are from a rich family, okay, so you will see the gap would be very small. So in that sense, your score would be low. But the some of research university, if your research university are willing to enroll more low-income family and make them success, your score will be high. Okay, so it is not about whether you are research university or not. It's about whether you are willing to educate those low-income family and provide them the quality of education. So this is the key. Because if you check the currently the world-class university ranking, so like a QS, right? You check the top 500, it's all of them are research university, and they must be super rich. Harvard, Stanford, Cambridge, they are super rich. Okay, why? It's they measure their performance based on their research. But we all know research is based on money. If you have more money, you will have more research. But if you have more research, not mean you will have a quality of education. Okay, so you should understand these things. Okay, so and the United States government, they are very generous. They even provide the whole raw data to everyone. If you can go to their website, you can download the data for all the university. So this is a very different perspective. Okay, so let's come back to the slide. So my key point is United States government, they like our government, they regularly provide money to their university. But they not only to rely on evaluation, university evaluation, they rely on those social mobility measurement to understand the performance of university. Okay, so they want to make sure they have a reliable measurement for the university performance, not the KPI. And let's come back to here. Why? To understand this thing is important. Because if one day you become the minister of education, it would be much easier for you to decide who should get the much more grant. We have 4 types of university. what are the four type? The first type, the first type of university, the student from the low-income family. Okay, can you see this? From a low-income family, and after their graduation, they still stay in a low-income family, but still in a low-income group. Okay, so you understand my point, right? Your parents are poor. After 4 years college education, you still poor. So, how should you treat this group of university? If you are the minister of education, how would you do for this university? The student from the low-income family, after the education, they still are poor. How would you do?
Decrease the student number.
Right. Do your best to close them, right? Because for the student, it's like a, it's like a, how to say, in Chinese we call 诈骗集团, right? It's like a, I bring you to my university, but I teach you nothing. Okay, so for this kind of university, as a government, you should reduce their fund. Okay, and but if you still have some people they want to go this university, you don't need to give them any financial aid support. Why? It's because this is your choice. So, for example, you know the poison will harmful for your body, right? You already know that. As a government, I already provide this data to you, and you already know, and you still want to buy it. Should government still provide aid for you to buy the poison? No, right? Okay, let's see the second type of institution. You come from a poor family. After the graduation, your income increase. You can have a social mobility. If you are the minister of education, how should you do? You should increase their fund, right? And you should keep the tuition lower because they all are from a poor family. If you have a higher tuition, they cannot go to this university. It's like you have a lower tuition, right? This is what is happening. So they have three things, they come together. So if your university performs very well, how can you make money? First choice, increasing the tuition, right? But if second, to get more money from Ministry of Education. But if you increase the tuition, those the students from the poor family, they cannot come to your university, right? So you would lower your tuition. But if you lower your tuition, which means you would lower your quality of education. So in this sense, you need to get more grant from Ministry of Education. But the Ministry of Education, how can they know you should get more grant? It's based on your contribution. Can you understand me? In Taiwan, the public university, they have a better quality of education, but their tuition is much lower. Who go to the public university? Is poor family or rich family? It's rich family. So basically, government, they are getting money from the poor family to give them to the rich family. So this system is trying to make the system much more reasonable. Okay, so if your student, they are come from a poor family, so you need to reduce the tuition, and the financial need from the university should come from the grant from the Ministry of Education. The third type of institution is from the rich family, and after the college education, they become poor. What you should do as the Minister of Education, reduce the fund, right? But you don't need to limit their tuition because the majority of students, they are rich. If they want to buy it, just buy it. So, for example, if you are the fans of Coach, if you are the fans of LOV, right? LOV, I think LOV useless for your daily life, right? So you can see this is a CP value. If you put more money but less value, if you are rich, you do it. I will not give you money to do it. I will not support you, right? So this, you can keep your tuition high, but the government will not support your financial aid. The final type of university, you come from the rich family, and after graduation, you still rich. Can you imagine that which university they follow this pattern? Do you have any university in your mind? Their students are rich already, and after their graduation, they still rich. Which university they follow this pattern?
NTU.
Which one?
NTU.
IB. If we are saying in Taiwan, IB definitely, yeah, IB is. If in Taiwan, which university? NTU could be, right? But there's one type of university, they are particularly follow this pattern. There's one type of university in Taipei, and it is private.
Private?
Yeah.
Okay.
Around the Taipei 101. Which one?
台北医学大学。
Yeah. Taipei Medical University.
Oh,
They do the survey. How? Yeah. Taipei Medical University, if you check the Department of Medicine, do you know how many students their father is doctor? All of them. All of them, right? So they just reproduce their social status. So Taipei Medical University, they are private, they can charge the high tuition because their father can pay it, right? At the end, they can pass the certification, they can become the doctor. This is what their family want. If you are Taipei Medical University, if you are president, you talking to their parents, say, everyone, we decide to reduce your tuition, right? We want to reduce your tuition. You don't need to pay so many tuition, but we will give you a corresponding quality of education. They definitely will transfer to another medical university, right? Money for them is not a problem. They just want the quality of education. So for this kind of the university, Ministry of Education, you don't need to pay more to them because they can sustain themselves. Okay, all of this system can solve the dilemma problem because now the government, they know how to measure the contribution of each university, then decide who should get more funding. Okay, so this is this paper all about. Okay, so if you have interest, you can read the paper in Chinese, but this paper is about. Okay, any question here? Okay, Yinjun, can you follow me? Yinjun is here. Let me see.
Yes.
Okay, good. And you ask me why this is relevant to institutional research. It's because saying that if you are this group of university, okay, you want to improve, you will go to see another university who belong to the same group, but they have a much better social mobility. You will try to understand what they are doing. So this is the institutional research office. They can provide the evidence, say, okay, so for example, in Taipei Tech, we have a lot of students when they come to Taipei Tech, their English is really bad. So we provide a summer school to provide intensive training for them. So then we check whether this would really improve their performance. So if you belong to this group of university, you will always to check other university, the practice they do to improve the learning outcome. Okay? But what happening today in current world-class university ranking, if you are rich, you will be on the top. If you are poor, you in the bottom. Nothing about your practice of education. Okay, so we will talk into this more in a later lecture. Okay, good. So let's take a short break for 4 minutes. Then let's come back by 4:30. Then Inu are going to present the second paper. Okay.
Dua.